Allison.
Good evening, and thank you guys for giving us a few minutes tonight to talk about the Brentwood Ice Festival and the donation we're going to be giving to Backstoppers. Since 2018, the Brentwood Ice Rink held its first annual First Responder Skate to benefit Backstoppers. This was a brainchild of our Operations Superintendent, Brad Barbeau, and now retired Police Detective Eisenweiss. It was developed to be a family-friendly ice rink event that would also benefit a worthy organization. So after last year, COVID, it came back. So we're happy to get back this year. Friday, February 18th, we did things, free skating, face painting. Elsa and Anna were there. 2 shows for Circus Kaput. And I think everyone had a really nice time. We're able to raise $2,376 for Backstoppers. And we're happy to say with this donation, we're able to donate over $10,000 to Backstoppers since the inception of the event. So Allison Coker, who is instrumental in the success of the event, will be presenting the check to Byron Watson.
On behalf of Chief Ron Battelle, who is our Executive Director of the Backstoppers, everyone knows Ron, we just want to say thank everyone who had anything to do with donating this money. Those of you that are aware of the Backstoppers, I'm one of the board members. I've been there for 25 years. I'm one of the senior ones now. A lot of new faces are coming on. I retired from the St. Louis County Police Department after 35 years as a police officer. So I wear a lot of different hats, and I enjoy the opportunity to come out and do these things. She was just making a comment about, well, it was only $2,000. I says, well, I had the pleasure of being asked to go down to South County. We had a police officer that had been killed in the line of duty. And a young lady down there, she couldn't have been no more about 9 or 10. She had a lemonade stand, and she started collecting money. And after she got so much money, she called Ron and she says, we got money for the police. Why don't you bring somebody down? So I come down, and she may have maybe $45, $50, but she was so excited about that. So it's not the amount of money, it's just the fact that people care. Right. And these officers' families, they truly do appreciate it. I can tell you firsthand, this money goes a long way. Last year, we spent $2.5 million on 95 families that we're now helping 75 dependent children. So as you can imagine, that money doesn't go long, but it does help. So I just want to thank everyone for allowing us this opportunity to do the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's shy.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the city, we all recognize the importance of your organization, and we're just glad that we're able to do a little bit. But there's obviously there's a need, unfortunately. That brings us to the next item, which is citizen comments. Anybody in the public care to address the board, now is the time to do so. You will be given up to 3 minutes. Anybody online? Nope.
There are, but no hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to mayor and alderman reports. First up is the mayor. I have 3 items. The first is Cornerstone. As the board will remember, they came in front of the board last meeting, and you all should have received a letter from them where they have decided that they listened to the comments of the board, and they have decided to postpone consideration of the text amendment and as they explore alternatives. And so they have, that's why it's not coming back in front of you tonight for a second read. Secondly, the Great Rivers Greenway Connector Part A groundbreaking. We have set a date for April 28th at 10:30 a.m. The event will take place at the corner of the back corner of Ace Hardware parking lot. Susan Troutman, who is the CEO of Great Rivers Greenway, will speak at this event, and all residents, contractors, and consultants who have worked on this project obviously are invited to attend. And finally, one of these really good events we'd like to announce, and that is Alex Cavallini, who's the Olympic goalie for the U.S. women's hockey team. They won the silver this Olympics. They had the gold the prior Olympics. She does live in Brentwood, as Alderman Plufka has told you. We are having an Alex Cavallini Day in honor of her achievements, and she's agreed to show up at the ice rink, and that is going to be April 2nd. That's a Saturday. And there'll be some more information about this, but there'll be an opportunity for people to meet her and to listen to her experience as an Olympian, and maybe get some advice from her on how best to protect the goal. I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be a wonderful event where we're going to have a day to honor her and her accomplishments. So with that, Alderman Plufka.
No report.
Alderwoman Tice.
No report.
Alderwoman Sims.
In anticipation of the election, which will take place on April 5th, there will be a Ward 2 candidate forum on Monday, March 28th at 6:30 at the Rec Center, and the former Mayor Pat Kelly will moderate. So come on out and hear the platforms.
And Alderman Lockmuller.
Thank you. The Public Safety Committee will meet this Wednesday in this room. That's the 26th at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Gould.
Yes, the next Ward 3 meeting will be on Tuesday, March 29th at 7 p.m., and we will have it in person at the Rec Center in, excuse me, in Room C.
Thank you. And Alderwoman O'Neill.
Yes. Ward 4's meeting will be part of the Brentwood Forest Board of Managers meeting next Tuesday at 6:30 at the clubhouse.
Thank you.
Everybody's welcome.
Thank you. And that brings us down to item 7, the City Administrator Report. We have only one item under that, and that is the Brentwood Bound update.
Good evening, Craig Schilder with Navigate Building Solutions. I'll be providing the Brentwood Bound update. Going through the normal update, so starting with construction costs, total spend since the last Board of Aldermen meeting was $217,619.96. Next is soft costs. Total spend since the last Board of Aldermen meeting was $74,749.41, and that was on legal fees, design fees, and development consulting. And there were no updates to the categories or funding or funds received. So it's a short update this month.
Any questions for Craig on the Brentwood Bound update? Great, thanks,
Thank you.
Craig. Drops us down to item 8, the consent agenda, under which we have 5 items. Are there any questions or any requests to remove any of the items from the consent agenda? Alderwoman Tice.
I don't want to remove it, but I do have a question,
Sure.
probably for Craig, on Resolution D about the land acquisition along Russell Avenue. Can you, is this $23,500, is that just what we would pay them to negotiate and then we would subsequently pay for the land?
Correct.
That's, okay.
Correct. So the grant, it's East West Gateway grant that's tied to those Russell properties. So this firm handles the acquisitions that align with the grant requirements, which is Uniform Relocation Act. So we have to pay them to do some various things to honor the MoDOT requirements. And then they handle all that, and then the city will have to buy these easements. But these are small residential easements, so we don't predict a large cost with those.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about any of the other items under consent agenda? If none, then the chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Roll call, or any discussion on that, I'm sorry. Roll call?
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderwoman O'Neill? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. That we have no old business, and we have one item under new business, and that's bill number 6375. Can we get a first read by title only, please?
Bill number 6375, first reading, an ordinance of the City of Brentwood, Missouri, approving a certain real estate sale contract with Bi-State Development Agency of the Missouri-Illinois Metropolitan District for the purchase of a portion of real property at 3000 South Brentwood Boulevard and real property at 3120 South Brentwood Boulevard, authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith, providing for the effective date of this ordinance, and containing a severability clause.
Thank you. Bola, who's presenting on this? Is it Eric?
Good evening. This is the property that's south of Bi-State that we've been talking about since about 2017. So in 2017, Deer Creek Watershed Alliance and GRG did a charrette about the best ecological use of that green space. And in that charrette, it was determined a wetland arboretum, which could be a demonstration to residents and anyone who comes down that greenway now to be able to kind of use and enjoy. And so we've been talking about that for a while, and Bi-State is now willing to sell that property for $1.57 a square foot, which is $435,000. We have been working with the MDC, Missouri Department of Conservation, and we did receive a grant of up to 43.38% of the appraised value, which is $188,703. So take that off. We've also been working with other partners. So far, the Open Space Council and their board meeting in January approved to support the property acquisition and are donating at least $20,000. They have another board meeting tomorrow night. And in addition, we're talking to other partners. So we're looking at a balance right now of $226,297. So in addition, we're working with Deer Creek Watershed Alliance on a grant for the design and construction of the property. It would be contingent, of course, of the city purchasing the property, but we're working on that right now. In addition, looking at other partners to help with any balance left over from that grant so that we can turn what we've been talking about in 2017 a reality.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Eric? We are wanting to do a second read on this tonight. Okay, we would like to have a second read, folks, if you're okay with that. If so, if someone could make a motion to that effect.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So, Mr. City Attorney, can we get a second read of Bill 6375 by title only, please?
Bill number 6375, second reading and consideration for adoption, an ordinance of the City of Brentwood, Missouri, approving a certain real estate sale contract with Bi-State Development Agency of the Missouri-Illinois Metropolitan District for the purchase of certain real property at 3000 South Brentwood Boulevard and real property at 3120 South Brentwood Boulevard, authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith, providing for the effective date of this ordinance, and containing a severability clause.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to perfect Bill number 6375 in an ordinance form?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims? Yes. Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderwoman O'Neill? Carries by a vote of 6-0 and will become ordinance number 5010, I believe.
Great, thank you. Brings us down to item 11, citizen comments. Once again, if anybody in the public cares to address the board, now is the time to do so. You'll be given up to 3 minutes. Seeing none, we would like to have another closed meeting pursuant to RSMO 610.021 subsections 2 and 3. Can we get a motion to that effect, please? Sorry, somebody make that? Okay.
Second.
Personnel, did you not include that? You're fine.
Okay.
Do we want legal to?
All three.
Yeah. Subsection 1 is all legal.
Oh, 1 also?
So 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Okay. So we're going to, whoever made that motion, can we amend it to add also 610.021 subsection 1? For legal, real estate, and personnel. Okay, thank you. And we have a second? Wonderful.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderwoman O'Neill? Yes. Motion carries by a vote of 6-0.
Great. We will adjourn right now and then reconvene in the conference room. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know. Yeah.